And up next year, man, we got the grudge match that's finally going to go down on Saturday night between Marvin Vettori and Brendan Allen. This fight was scheduled to go down April 2024. Never ended up happening, and then it actually popped off in a Las Vegas casino last year where these guys got in a couple scuffles. And now we're going to see who gets the last laugh in the octagon. But both these guys are kind of trending in the wrong direction career-wise, so it's a massive fight for one of them to settle the tide and prove that they're still a viable contender. Marvin Vettori, he's been in the UFC for almost 10 years. He's been in the top 15 since 2018, and he's fought the who's who of the weight class, but he hasn't won since 2023. He's lost 2 fights in a row, had a really bad injury he had to come back from in his last fight. And since he fought Israel Adesanya for the title in 2021, he's 2-3 in his 5 fights and been changing gyms, and it seems like he's trying to figure out how to reignite that fire. He's only 31 years old, so hopefully this fight, being against someone he doesn't like, brings out old Marvin back. But you also have to talk about the fact that Marvin is having some really tough times in his personal life right now with his brother just passing away, so hopefully he can channel that into a great performance. But Brendan Allen, he's also on a cold streak. He hasn't won since April of 2024 and has lost 2 fights in a row himself. He made it to the cusp of contention. He won 7 fights in a row and faced off with Nasrin Imavov. He dominated the first round against Imavov as well, but ended up losing that fight, losing the second and third rounds. Then he fought Anthony Hernandez in February, lost via decision in that fight. So kind of a crossroads fight for Allen here for sure. During his winning streak, he didn't really defeat anyone that great either outside of Chris Curtis. So if he can't beat a halfway out the door Vettori, that would be a bad look for him. He's only 29 years old, so both these guys are pretty young. It's just going to be who still has juice left in the tank, who's mentally there, who's hungrier, who's more confident. Skills-wise, I just think Allen is the better fighter, though, man. I mean, Marvin, on the feet, if he can make it more of a boxing match and get on the inside, he's going to have a chance, especially if Allen starts making dumb decisions and shooting bad takedowns and Marvin could sprawl out on him and control him. Brendan Allen could be a champion in the UFC, or at least a contender if he didn't make so many mistakes. I mean, his fight with Imavov and Hernandez, it seems like it was his own foolishness that cost him the fight, like being too over aggressive on the ground and losing position, or when he's the better striker, like getting the better. I don't even know if you could say he's the better striker, but on that night he was getting the better of the stand up versus Imavov a little bit, and then he's shooting these takedowns from a mile away and just hanging onto the leg and just losing himself the fight because of bad fight IQ. So that is a possibility here, but I just feel like Marvin is not what he used to be, man. He had a bad injury, he had to come back, and he's never been like a super dynamic guy. He's had to rely on being a grinder, so he has to be mentally there and ready to absorb damage, to kind of grind you out for 15 minutes. And with Brendan Allen, I just don't know if he's going to be able to outstrike Allen. Allen does have pretty solid striking. And on top of that, I don't think either of these guys are going to be that effective with the wrestling. It's probably going to end up being a wash, more of a stand-up fight. But if anyone is the better grappler, I think that it's Brendan Allen as well in that department too. So I just favor Allen in this matchup, but it's not one of those fights that I'm super interested in. I wouldn't run to the betting table on Brendan Allen here. I mean, I just feel like kind of a fight where it could go all kinds of ways. They don't like each other either, so who knows what it's going to look like, but I'm going to lean towards Brendan Allen.